So we are a group of people here that are just having a bunch of questions answered. And so I know there's been a lot of questions that have been out there that you guys have been mentioning. So why don't we go for it? What are some of the questions you had? Fabian.
Well, my name is Fabian. I'm from Washington. Well, the biggest question I would like to know, how would it benefit our churches, our community with churches or small business? On CarePay, how would they be able to donate to the church using CarePay?
Very nice. Any other questions?
Me.
Dee?
I'm Dee. I'm from Virginia, and I've got a military background and a trucking background, and
Okay.
I'm kind of curious as to how it would benefit businesses and our military since they changed their retirement plan.
Okay. All right. How about anybody else? Any other questions you've come across that you'd like to have answered? I know that there's a lot of people who have talked about how to use even for client retention in a business. And some people also talk about how you can use it for employee benefits. So let's go ahead and conquer all of those. And I know that's Clint. He's out of Yakima, and he's there with Joel. Then we also have Jason. Where are you from?
I'm Jason. I'm from Massachusetts.
Okay. And what's your background, just really briefly?
Well, I've spent about 13 years in the home-based business industry.
Okay. All right. Nice. And Jess, where are you from and your background, just real briefly?
I'm Jess. I'm from New York, the state. And my background is I used to be able to work out in the workforce, and medically I need to be able to work from home instead now.
Okay. All right. So let's get into the questions, I guess. Let's get right into it, because people that are watching the video are going to want to know this, how you can use it for a business or a church, how it can benefit it. And there's several different layers. So as I go through this, remind me or ask any questions so that we can get all these answered for everybody. I'm going to share the screen. The company we're working with that does all these things is called Karatbars. So if you haven't heard about Karatbars, what it does is it promotes several different things, but it basically protects your income, protects savings accounts, and it's a recession-proof way of saving. But they've also incorporated now a system of payment and also a system of compensation that allows for churches to get auto donations. It also allows for churches to protect their congregation, for employees to have a better way of saving for their retirement. It creates a more robust benefits package for any employer out there, and also eliminates a lot of the having to share in, like, for example, 401k, and those contributions are shared between the employee and employer. Instead of that, there's actually compensation on both ends of that instead of having to contribute both people into that. So the way the system works is very, very simple, but I'm going to go through the business part of it, because both the business as an LLC would be able to take an account with Karatbars, and then from there they're able to purchase what's called a K-Exchange license. And what that allows is a gold payment system, and it's a community which would be, it's growing as we talk all over the world. It can be operated by your phone, and it's based on what's called cash gold. So you're actually being able to pay with gold all over the world. So what that allows people to do once you have your K-Exchange license, it is for shop owners or online shop owners only. So you don't have to actually have a physical address to have this, or a physical business. You could actually have an online business or an online organization to do this. And the KaratPay itself can be person to person. So that opens up a completely new aspect that you can incorporate. For example, if you do wire transfers for, like Western Union and those type of things, from a business standpoint, a lot of businesses cater to people who have to wire money to other countries. And so if that's you need to look at what we're doing here, because you can set yourself up to be receiving income as a part of that system. and also helping people to pay less in fees to get that done. So there's one end there. So the first thing you want to look at is what kind of business license you're looking at as far as the K-Exchange license. There's a basic license, there's a business license, or business pro. The basic business license is very limited in what it can do, but it's also for free. But the business license, valid for 7 years, and the pro, valid for 8 years, is where you're really run into a lot of, I don't know, I guess you'd say a lot of benefits that you can use. The basic license, all it does is if you own a shop or an online shop, you can register for a free account and be associated with the K-Exchange on the website. So it kind of gives your business a new platform to advertise, I guess you'd say, and it also allows you to have more exposure to people who are more and more leaning towards being able to purchase with gold and going away from traditional forms of payment as we see them. And, if you think about that, that would apply to anyone who's looking for a more secure way to manage their money. So if that kind of gives you a little bit of input. There's a business license that you can get, gives you a 3.5% discount on all the cash gold purchases. And that's important because basically all you're doing is you're going to get a free basic license, but you're also going to get that business license included in that. It allows you to increase a little bit on your income, and I'll show you how that works in just a little bit, but that 3.5% discount on cash gold purchases. The other thing you can do is get, as a pro, you get 7% on the cash gold purchases. So the way that works is like this. You can sell cash gold vouchers to your customers, okay? The shop owners with the business license at a 3.5% discount on cash gold purchases and the 7% discount on cash gold purchases would then be able to keep that difference at the time there is a sale made. So if you look at it almost like a lot of times people in other countries are used to the exchanges. For example, you send money to Mexico and there's an exchange house or an exchange point. And what they're doing is they have their business operating on that exchange of currencies. So basically with the same type of mentality, I guess, you would be able to keep the difference on the purchases made with that physical cash gold because you were able to sell it at a reduced rate or purchase at a reduced rate. So when you receive the cash gold via Carrot Pay in the exchange of cash payment in the shop, you would be able to keep that 7% difference. Okay, so that's one of the ways you get to actually make the money. They show you exactly what it's worth every day on this carrotbank.net website. So you can go in there every day and do that and check the prices. If you have the business, let's see, for the customers, there's a Carrot Pay cash gold to physical cash gold, and that would be a 3% transfer fee based on the sale. So what you get is on this one, you're receiving cash gold via Carrot Pay, you get the 7%. If you're doing physical cash gold, from Carrot Pay cash gold to physical cash gold, you're going to get the 3%. So either way, you're going to make some money on this. Now, this is on top of what you're already doing as far as that's concerned, the operational. You would also be included in a cash gold pool that's worldwide. This would be based on all of them. It's paid out every 6 months. And what it's going to do is it's going to share some of the profits that the company receives through the system using the K-Exchanges. So up to now, it seems pretty straightforward to me, but I don't know. What do you think? Are there questions that your clients are going to have, or are there questions that you have as far as to this point where we're at right now?
No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
How about you, Dee?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Jason?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So being that that's the case, now let's give some application to this. Because basically what any church or any business is going to want to know, how exactly is this going to benefit me? What is this going to look like in a practical sense? How can I make this work, right? So this is the way things would pan out. You as a church would be able to receive donations from the congregation from their phone straight to you based on their savings that they have in gold. You as a business would be able to promote this system of payment for your clients. That would allow them to participate in another aspect of the business which would increase their savings over time. It would also allow them to include other family members in type of a benefits package. At the same time, they're able to purchase things from your shop. Also included in that would be the benefit of you being able to share the fact that they can now wire money to other people all over the world through the same system that you're introducing them to. Now, all of these are going to have an income aspect to them. So anytime you do this and you're promoting this, you're going to be able to share not only the opportunity for others to be able to have a better savings account and have a better way of payment, more secure payment method based on gold, but you'll also be able to increase your bottom line. So you're actually being paid because you're promoting this. So the way it works is like this. The value you're going to get when you buy those licenses, the one license, the business license, is 3,500 euro, and the Business Pro is 7,999 euro, so almost 8,000 euro. What these licenses will give you, like I said, it's 7 years on the business license. The Business Pro is 8 years. So it's very reasonably priced, especially if you divide that into the years, and then you take into consideration the income that's coming across. But that would be amazing in itself. But when you break down all of the value you get from everything you're going to receive, whether it's from Cash Gold to start out with, there's some profit cards that are also involved, and that's a different aspect of the business. We'd actually be able to show you about how that works. All of the things that are involved in there. I want you to take a look at this. The bottom line total value for each of the packages, for the one at 3,500 euro, the bottom line value is almost 15,000 euro. The one that's about $8,000 is about 25,000 euro in value. Then inside those is this right here. If you look where it says VIP status, that's included in this package as a business license. Okay. So when you look at this VIP status, what that does is it takes into account a different portion of the business. Up till now, you're seeing all of this right here. Let me show you what else happens. Let me stop this share and go over to this screen. The business actually has a way of setting yourself up where, let's say your business or your church, doesn't matter what you are, non-for-profit, you take and you make a free account. Once you set up your free account, that opens the opportunity for you to actually bring in other people to do what they're going to do with the business. So what that means is, let's say you're a congregation and you're a pastor of a church, right? And so you as a church take that church position. You take the LLC position as an account, and now you are able to, as an affiliate, LLC, church entity, you're able to share this opportunity of gold savings with your congregation. Now, let me show you the reason why you would even do that, first of all, okay? If you take a look at goldprice.org, this is for any business people that are out there watching, you're going to realize that there's a difference between savings and investments. If you look at the last 20 years, prices in gold have gone, and you can see this is actually, it's real time. You just saw it change just now. But it's at 1,346 an ounce right now. If you look at this over the last 20 years, gold prices started down here, and you can see this slight curvature that goes up, and as time goes on, it actually goes up faster and higher. So it's a faster movement, but if you look at this line continues upward at the same rate.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to see it go down below that rate, and that's because it's a nice slope that gold follows like that. This up here, where it spikes, where gold value goes really high, that's called a recession. If you remember 2008 to 2012, right around in there was a recession, and that's what created that huge value soar in gold. So anytime there's a recession, that's going to happen. When the recession's over, it doesn't go back to where it was. It follows that line. It still continues that growth cycle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this right here, as a church, as a pastor, or even as an employer, what you're trying to do is promote two things. You want to protect the people that you care about, and as a business, you care about your employees, and as a church, you care about your congregation. You want to protect their income, protect their prosperity, I guess you'd say, if you want, But one of the other things that's interesting about this is you're helping people to take out risk that a lot of times is involved in investments that are associated with current retirement programs. And what we do is we do this in a way, and I usually have the analogy of how we usually gain weight. Most people don't start out thinking, I would love to gain 100 pounds this year. What they start out thinking is, I'm just going to eat a little bit more today. And they do that without even thinking, just by adding a little bit extra to their plate every time, they can add a tremendous amount of weight during the year. And so the same thing can happen as far as gold is concerned. If you just take a little bit of what your savings is, put it into gold, you can add a tremendous amount at the end of the year. And I think, Dee, you told me about somebody who's been regularly saving for a long time. And I think he's in Arizona right now. I don't remember where he's at right now.
Yeah, he's in Arizona.
What would you say his experience has been with saving through this system with Karatbars?
He loves it. He absolutely loves it.
Does he mention about the convenience at all, or has he told you anything about how hard it is to do? Or
no, he said that it's very easy to do. He just put it in an auto save and doesn't worry about it. It just automatically every month saves it for him.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, and we know, I think we know several people that have actually done that now, set up an autosave. Other people vary their savings every month, I think. I think, Fabian, you yourself actually do, you've made several purchases in months as time goes on, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing I was thinking of, since me and my wife, we do photographing on the side, I'm planning to put Carat Exchange in there. So there'll be another way for offering people to pay, or not even that, start their own savings account also.
Right. And actually, now that you mentioned photography, it came up to my mind that there is actually a system in the company, and remind me before we finish, and I'll show this exactly how it can be done, where even a church or any business, but especially a photographer, would be able to do this fairly easy. You can create a specific gold card that has a gram of gold in it with any picture you would like to. So if you had, like, for example, a gold package you sold to people, they imagine a family picture with a little gram of gold in it, and everybody gets a copy of that as a, something that increases in value over time, or children when they're born, get their picture every once in a while. And it lends itself to a lot of things that people don't even take into consideration. Nice.
Oh, yeah. And how you said it, let's say the people get married, they're getting married, and I take a picture of that, send it into the card, and any other family would want to get that for themselves, that would be awesome also, because they're saving a remembrance of the family member that got married.
Nice. Yes, definitely. Yeah. So when we're looking at all these things, this gold savings just makes sense if you're just looking at, even over the last 20 years, the tendency is going to continue. And if the economy goes worse, we see that the gold protects effectively anything you have saved there. So now, going back to what we were talking about before, every €2 invested in changing that from currency to gold, that savings process, every €2 comes into a point that creates a certain amount of percentage based on the person that introduced them to that program. So to put this in a different category, because I know a lot of business people that are watching are going to want to know what it's going to do for me, or even churches might even want to know what it's going to do for me. Just an example, if you had a VIP business package, for example, the one that we were talking about just now in that K Exchange, it comes included in that K Exchange. As a VIP, if you have 100 people in your congregation or 100 employees in your business that are saving 1 gram a week, that would come out to less than $300 a month at this point right now. That would create $100,000 in revenue for either the church or the business that implemented that program. So if you're a business owner or you're a church that's actually watching this, if you're a pastor and you're looking at this, you setting up as a K Exchange, being able to receive gold contributions, think of it this way. Your congregation saving 1 gram a week, if there's 100 people doing that, you would be able to receive an auto donations as a church of pretty close to $8,000 a month. So a lot of churches, I know that, I don't know if you you guys have been working a little bit with churches and stuff like that. If you know, like Dee or Fabian or Ryan, any of you guys, what do you think that a church would feel about that? I mean, does that something a pastor would be interested in doing?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. It'll benefit them a lot.
There'll be an easier way too.
That's right. How about Dee? You're coming from a military background and also from a trucking background. When you said trucking, do you mean like business owner of trucking, or are you talking about
So both.
both? Would this be
Yeah.
something that you could see a business owner actually latching onto and being able to use it in their
Oh, yeah.
business?
Because you could use it to as a form of retirement for your employees. So part of a benefit package. But you could also, if you're saving it yourself, you could use it as collateral for equipment, towards equipment.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
That is, I didn't even think about that. Okay, so it's an interesting point you just mentioned. A lot of times people find themselves in a state that they need to add something on, or they need to do repairs on anything, whether you're in a business that's got to do with trucking or not. Most of those things are not foreseen when they come into, let's say, pipes breaking, tires going out, motors blowing up, anything that you can think of in any type of business. If you have this solid, this gold savings that's been going on as a business entity, you have that as a backing you can use as collateral in any loan for your equipment that you need.
Right, especially if you're a new business and let's just say you have a motor blow. Well, right there, you're looking at $45,000 to replace a motor, replace an engine.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't even think about that one. Very, very nice. Okay. So if we're looking at all these things in these situations, you can see how you as a business owner or as a pastor of a church, you see that there's a definite benefit to creating the free account. You see that there's a definite benefit to purchasing a K-Exchange business package that would allow you to be able to purchase in those, have those purchases come in for gold, people paying, actually donating to the congregation or paying to your business if you're a store, especially retail store. And like I said, if you have any clientele that send money from one person to the other one, the same system that will allow them, you saw it said Carrot Pay, that will allow them to pay to you also allows person-to-person payment. So they would be able to transfer payments from one place to the other. But when they load that payment with that cash gold, you would also get some income from that. So you'll be able to receive payouts on all these different fronts. But what if you're looking at this and you say, and this might be a possibility, I don't know, Jason or anybody, let me know. There might be people that are out here looking at this saying, okay, I like the system. I understand the gold part. Maybe I'd like to do it for myself, but I'm not sure if I want to do my business with that full business license. So do you think that they would be interested in finding out about just without the K-Exchange, finding out what you could do by setting up a business, just a free account and buying a business package?
I would actually think so.
Okay. So it's very easy to understand and very brief. Basically what happens is whenever you purchase that, get that free account, you qualify anyway, whether you do that as an LLC or a person in a personal account. And then you have an option of using, and I'm going through this, I hope nobody gets sick or has any issues with that. There are actually 4 basic business packages. There's a VIP package. Packages range from, like VIP packages around €2,000 right now. And the bronze package is €125. There's anything in between with varying payouts depending on which package you get. And that would add a weekly payout to your monthly payout already associated with the free account. And then there's also some premium packages that you can still participate in the worldwide purchasing of the cash gold, whether they use that for the Carrot Pay system or not. And those packages run from, I think it's €8,000.
Yes.
Is that right? I think 8,000 or 9,000 and then 4,000. Yeah. So those are the basic ways the company works. I'd like to go into all the details, but it'd take a lot of time. Can you guys think of any other questions that people would want answered aside from those?
No.
Not at this moment.
Like talk about the retirement, maybe like saving for your retirement. Maybe that one.
For like a person saving for their retirement, or using it as a retirement supplement? Because we already kind of went into the retirement supplement. The saving for the personal retirement, if you were to do this, not only would you be able to do this for yourself, but also your family. I think, Ryan, that's one of the things that I've always heard you say, that you're in this to do this for your children.
Yeah.
What do you always tell everybody that you want to do with your children's future? How do you see your children's future?
I see their future golden. That's, what I always tell people. I want to see my children's future to have, more golden than right now.
Right. So, I mean, I think the easiest way we found to say it is, if you think about your grandparents saving, a little, like a gram of gold every week or every month, and they teach that to their kids, and then that is backing you, what you would feel like if you have 3 generations of gold savers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now let's say, if you continue that from now to the future, what you can do to your grandchildren and great-grandchildren as time goes on, you could definitely transform a family from wherever you're at now to becoming a completely different class, just by saving a little bit each month and having that instilled. So, yeah, free saving you can do. Dee, maybe you can explain a little bit about the storage versus delivery.
Well, the company offers free storage for your purchases of gold if you don't really want them shipped to you. I mean, a lot of people would want them shipped to you, but if you actually look at the shipping price from having 1 shipped to you to having 11 shipped to you, it's the same. So you could have them stored for free and accumulate, and then have, as long as you have 11 shipped to you, you're going to pay the same amount as if you had 1 shipped to you.
Right. So I think hopefully that's all the information that, or not all the information, but hopefully that information will help everybody to understand more about what we're doing as far as it can be done with them. But as with anything, any good pastor and any good business owner knows that every deal or every contract or every person or every problem or every sermon is different just a little bit. And it's based on the circumstances you're talking to at that time. So I would say that the same thing applies in this. Every one of the churches that's out there and every one of the businesses is out there probably would be good to sit down and talk to some. I would recommend anybody who's on the screen right now, if you're looking at that, either that or get in touch with the person that sent you this video and find out exactly how you could benefit, in your situation. Maybe your church has more people. Maybe you have several different churches. Maybe you're involved in a business that's got a lot of sales and you want to, offer this for your clients. Maybe you're a business that works with a lot of businesses and you want to show all of your businesses this. I don't know, but that's what I would recommend. What do you guys think?
Yeah, showing business owners and churches, that would be good.
Yeah.
And helping them, including them, helping the other people save nothing but gold so they can build other churches by helping them do the same thing, including Spanish, English, and what kind of type of background they came from. But, they can help them out and help them out how to build it. So it'll be helping out each other.
That's true.
Yes.
In fact, I didn't even think about it until you just said that, and now something else popped into my mind. If you're part of a church organization who happens to have churches in third world countries, being able to use Carrot Pay as a system to fund some of the building of new buildings and churches in other countries might be a very good way of going about it, being that you're talking about instantly being able to transfer funds backed by gold to help build in different places.
Jeremy?
Yes?
Just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that also help missionaries?
Yes, it would. It definitely would. There are a lot of ways you can use this system. A lot of ways you can do this system. And the cool thing about it, I think one of the cool things that I like is that it's something everyone understands. When you say gold, the only question we've ever had is, are you talking about jewelry? And once they say no, we're talking actually about gold, real gold bars. This is physical, tangible gold. This is 5 grams. So, I mean, you're looking at real gold. It's actually not, jewelry. That's the only question I've ever had. no one has ever said, is it worth anything? Nobody's ever said, what is gold? Explain it to me. Everybody knows what it is. Doesn't matter where you're at in the world. So very nice thought, D. Very awesome. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and hope that you'll get in touch with the person that sent you this video.